Alright guys, welcome back to another live stream. So, this will be another one I'm going to start on my own. Hayden's not on just yet, but he's on his way home. I don't know where he was, but it's not my business to know anyway. But anyway, welcome back to another live stream, everyone. So, I actually was able to fix something that we were trying to do last stream that I wasn't able to make work, and that was to have the chat on stream. So now I've actually got it up here in the corner. So anything you guys type will not pop up on there. It's pretty much just an exact little replica of the chat window I have access to on my computer. Pretty much, I'm able to now, since I and Hayden and Michael, I believe, Earl, I think Dalton is too, moderators. So yeah, it'll pop up and say if it's like like the little dialogue. I'm pretty sure, but we were able to actually be able to show the chat on stream now, which is awesome. So finally got that bug worked out. So yeah, we're just gonna live stream for maybe about an hour and a half or so. Hayden, like I said, should be popping here soon. Before I do that, though, I gotta add some stuff to my coin jar because I went to a yard sale today and picked up a steal on a Game Boy player. Any of my GameCube guys know exactly what a Game Boy player is. For those that don't, it's a adapter you can plug into your GameCube to allow you to play Game Boy Color, Game Boy, the original Game Boy, and Game Boy Advance games on your TV. I've been wanting one for a while, but market value usually has about $150. I picked one up today for $65, so $90 off of what it's usually going for on eBay is like a pretty good deal. So I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. So. It also is weird right now wearing headphones and talking to the stream without any music playing in my ears, because pretty much how I work this is I have Discord set to automatically go to the headphones. So pretty much if me and Hayden are trying to talk before stream, or me and Michael, or me and whoever are trying to talk before stream actually starts, I'll have the Discord audio or Skype audio, whatever, shown to the headphones, and that way I can hear them through here, and plus it won't overplay with the speakers and echo and all that jazz. But anyway, that's kind of just how I tend to make things work. But right now, since he's not here and I turned the music off, which was also running through my actual speakers on my laptop, it made it a little awkward. But yeah, I guess that's just kind of that. So Hayden will be in here momentarily. We'll get into the stream more in depth, I guess. I know I've talked to a few subscribers who said they're going to be a little late. One's actually having a scrimmage tonight, so hopefully that's going well on his end because football scrimmage is always really cool. I remember when I played ball, I loved going to scrimmages because it's like the one time I'd actually get to play. But it's just how it goes. My brother's season, my brother plays as well, so his season starts I think next week. So yeah, that was sports for me. I don't know a whole lot anymore since I quit playing football when I was in high school. But so hopefully everyone's having an awesome day. I wanted to fire this up for a little while tonight. It's going to be, just the usual live stream banter we always tend to do, and of course the Q&A and stuff, which is kind of just sprinkled throughout. Obviously if questions are asked in the chat, I'll read them. And as part of why I have the chat up now is because I want to be able to actually be able to reference it. So if you guys are watching this later, as in rewatching this, if I were to say I agree with so and so, you guys obviously don't know what they said. So just it's better for continuity, especially since I'm starting to try to leave my streams up after I've done them. That's why I've actually got the chat up now. Is so better for continuity's sake that people can actually see what was being said in the stream. So right now is one of those times I wish I had the money for a new car, not because I hate the truck or anything, but man, a new car would be nice. There are so many cars coming out this year that I'm really wanting to get a hold of and drive and all that stuff. I'm a really big fan of the Mark V. The more the Mark V Super's been around, the more I've fallen in love with that car, and it's something I really want to experience and see what the hype's all about because I really want to drive it because I'm a Super guy. I love the Mark IV. I mean, heck, I got this really nice Supra RC car that I've been having in the background of the videos and streams and all that stuff forever now. About a year since I got this. Hayden and Kaysen bought me this for my birthday last year. And that was my Pokewalker. That's kind of rare nowadays, so better not trash that. But you get the idea. I'm a big Super guy, so I love the Mark IV and all of its history and all of its legacy. But the Mark V, while it's not the same kind of design, the Mark IV is more of a grand tour than it is a sports car. The Mark V is a proper sports car, and that's why I like it a little bit. Like not more than the Mark IV, but it's about the same. And all people that have been dogging it, saying it's not a 2JZ, the B58 is just as dang strong. No one seems to really listen to that. All like the hardcore fanboys that are younger than me are all like, oh, 2J. And I was concerned about the engine at first. I didn't know a lot about BMW, so with the B58, I didn't know its limits. I didn't know what it's capable of. But now that I know what the B58 is capable of, it's going to be very, very similar to the 2J. People are not giving this engine time to really show itself. Even people like Adam LZ are buying the car now, and he was like he said it himself. He was a hater of the Mark V, and then he bought one because he saw what it was becoming. I mean, Real Street Performance is doing crazy stuff with them right now. All the big names when it comes to Mark V, when it comes to Mark IVs, are doing stuff with Mark Vs now. So it's really cool to see that. And right now, until the C8 comes out, that's my favorite car that's on sale that came out this year. Like I have more hype for the Supra than I do the GT500, and I'm a Mustang guy at heart. So it's like, it's bad when a $50,000 car with half the horsepower gets me more excited than the most powerful Mustang ever built. And I feel like if both of them had manuals, it'd be perfect. But nothing really we can do. Automatics are just becoming to that point where they're much more widely adopted. They're much more cared about. They're faster in some cases, but nothing beats the enjoyment of three pedals, which is why I'm always like big on why cars need three pedals, and it's not as much as from a auto's faster mentality. It's a I want to be more connected to the car because with an automatic you flip a paddle and you're good to go, but the manual you're engaging with the car, and that's why I like the manual more, despite owning an automatic. I prefer the engagement you have with three pedals. So yeah, the automatics are much faster now than they used to be. Back when my truck was brand new, you were lucky if an automatic could get within a second of a manual version of that car. It was bad. And now with dual clutches, with better autos, I mean, it kind of makes sense that companies are starting to move to automatics. It's just tragic because the manual is, in my opinion, more fun. If you want a fun car, manual's the way to go. And I don't know. There's actually, speaking of manuals and Mark Fives, there's actually a shop in Texas. I forget the name of it, but they're manual swapping Mark Fives. It's $12,000 extra on top of the car, so you pay 60 grand for the car since everybody's charging them over stickers, over sticker price. And I complained about this in the GT500 videos that markups are going to be the death of limited cars. It killed the RS. It's going to kill the Supra too. No one's going to be able to buy them, even though they're selling like hotcakes right now. Once they get that initial hype gone, no one's going to buy them because the sticker price is so high. And then we're going to lose the Supra again. Because someone's like, well, it didn't sell that well. Because dealerships are greedy and start trying to charge over sticker. The cars are 50 grand, 55 grand base price. So charging 60 for a base model is kind of ridiculous. It makes sense for the premium models because I believe that's what they're supposed to retail is 60. But if you're charging 50, you're charging 60, 65 grand for a base model Supra. What's wrong with you? But anyway, like I was saying, some tuning shop in Texas is making a swap kit for a manual on a Mark V. And I'll tell y'all what, if I ever got a Mark V, it'd be going there immediately. Like it would literally, I'd pick it up from the dealership and drive it straight to Texas to get dropped off and get the swap done because while yeah, the automatic in those cars is really fast. I prefer having a Supra with a manual transmission. It's just one of those cars that makes sense of the stick. When I heard it was auto only, I was like, that might be the only thing I don't like about it. It is the only thing I don't like about the car, is it's auto only. I don't have a problem with it being there. I have a problem with it being the only option. That's really it. Because I understand, again, the automatic is very fast in that car. And as much as I make it clear I don't like Mopar that much, that's one thing that Dodge does do right, is that even though they have the crazy fast auto in the Challenger, I was going to say Charger, the Charger doesn't offer a stick, they still offer a manual. So if you really want a manual Dodge Challenger, you can get one. That's like the only one that seems to get it right when they have that fast of a transmission, minus the ZL1, which did it too, because they had that 10-speed, which is still pretty fast now. It really seems to be the American companies, except for the GT500, that are holding on to the manuals as high as they can. I wouldn't be shocked if 10 years from now the Mustang and Camaro ditch manuals altogether. Hopefully not the Camaro, because I don't know. When it comes down to modern, like if I were buying one brand new, it'd be a tight decision between the Camaro and the Mustang for me because I really like the new Camaro. Not the 2019, but I like the 16s to 18s, and I like the new ones that just came out of the 2020s. They look a lot better. They fixed that car big time. RB Productions posted on his Instagram store today the LT1 model they're coming out with for the Camaro, which is like a base model SS, which is without the SS badge. 10 out of 10 would buy it. I'm a Mustang guy at heart, but I really like that LT1 Camaro. It looks pretty good. I'm not going to lie. Even though it's essentially the V6 with the SS engine in it, I actually liked how the SS looks more, or not the SS, the V6 body looks compared to the SS. So, to me, the LT1's perfect. Like, I would not need an SS for buying a 2020 Camaro. But I feel like right now, if I were to buy a car brand new with 0 miles on it, I'd be pretty spoiled because I'd have the C8 and the Mark V. But since the C8's not here yet, the Mark V would be the undisputed champion. I would buy a Mark V before I get close to anything else right now that's brand new with 0 miles. Keep in mind, if used cars are in the equation, GT350 is an option, C7's an option, all sorts of other good cars. But if I were buying a car with 0 miles on it, Mark V is going to be the winner. I know, everyone's going to complain. It's not a real Supra. It's still a Supra. Sorry. But Mark V is like the car for me right now. That if I were buying a car brand new, it'd be what I'd buy. But I guess to start off, I'll ask you guys a question. So see, there's 3 of y'all watching. What is you guys' favorite car that is on sale brand new today? So no C7s, no older cars from a couple of years back. Just what is on sale for 2020 that you guys like the most? Because for me, it's the Mark V. And then right behind is the GT500 until the C8 comes out, and then the C8 will kind of leapfrog both of them. But that car is just insane. But right now, it's the Mark V and the GT500 until the C8 comes out and numbers start coming in. People start buying them because people are going to go mad and buy those too once the hype starts. So yeah, what is the 3 of y'all that are watching? What is you guys' favorite car that is on sale for 2020 that you would buy? Without, obviously excluding exotics, but I'm talking about new cars that are coming out for 2020. So, the C8, the GT500, the new refreshed Camaros. I'm trying to think of any other cars I could add. There's lots of cars that are coming out this year for like a refresh. But yeah, I think for me, the Mark V would be the choice. I'd have a Mark V. But what do you guys think? What would you guys buy brand new for 2020? Because I know Hayden would say C8, but I'm talking about cars that are out right now. Even though, in all honesty, when are C8s going to be starting delivered? Because I've heard like a bunch of conflicting things about C8s getting like delivered soon. I'm like, what? The car just got revealed 2 months ago. Was it? Or was it 2 months ago? Maybe it's been a month. I don't remember how long it's been, but it's been a minute. But like I said, Hayden will be jumping in here momentarily. I have no clue where he is right now. He's still not on Discord yet, so we'll see soon. The redesigned Camaro because the 19 Camaro looked. I agree. The 19 Camaro was hideous. I did not like the 19. The 19, it was kind of an embarrassment to the Camaro world. I feel like, and coming from a Mustang guy, like I love the 6th gen. I love the 16 to 18s, and I love the new ones. But the 19, the taillights I could get over, but the front end was just awful. So bad. Like, I cannot get over the front end of the 19 SS. Like I said, the V6 looked better. I never would say that about any of the other muscle cars. Like, the V6 Mustang, it does not look as good as a GT or a GT500. But, when the 19 Camaro came out, I was like, holy crap, the V6 looks better. The 19 SS is probably one of the ugliest things I've seen from GM since the Aztec. So, yeah, I'm with you on that. I would rather have the new one than the 19. So, because the 19 was just awful. I mean, when it comes, if they were to give out superlative awards like they did in high school, and I think college as well, I'm not that far in college, I don't know. But if they were to give us superlative awards, the 2020 Camaro would be best comeback because the 19 was just so bad on so many levels. It still had the performance to back itself up, but it looked like garbage, so no one wanted it. And it's bad when you try refreshing a car and everyone hates it, so you refresh it again for like the next model year. GM had to spend so much money on that. They probably lost so much money in 19, so it's like, oh well, we gotta fix that. I really don't mind they didn't just go back to the 16, 18 because that looked fine. That really did. When it comes to GM, they had some stout looking cars for ever. The C7, oh the C8 looks good too. But when it came down to the Camaro, they had really cleaned the Camaro up, and I was like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And they broke it, trying to fix it. I don't know what happened with that one, but it's out of production now, so no worries now. We got the nicer looking ones now. I would honestly buy the 2020. Like I said, I really would only buy the LT1 model. Like the SS is fine, but I prefer the LT1. I'm getting a Snapchat notification. Oh, it's Trevor, my friend the Gaming Goomba. We're working on possibly trying to get a collab soon of on a video for a game on Game Boy actually. Need for Speed Carbon on the Streets. It's such a bad game. Like I said earlier on the stream, I picked up that Game Boy player, and I don't know if any of you guys ever had Need for Speed Carbon on any sort of like handheld, like a DS or Game Boy or whatever. That game is awful. It's so bad, especially the Game Boy version. I cannot stress that enough. If you have a Game Boy Advance, avoid Need for Speed Carbon on the Streets like the plague. It's such a bad game that I would not play. I would not wish on my worst enemy to play. Like, and I've had it since I was about, I think 7, 8, maybe 9, and I got it on GBA. And actually no, I was probably like 6 because I didn't even have my DS yet. So I got it then, and I've had it since then. So it's about, what, 14 years, something like that, since I just turned 20. It's such a bad game. I would never, like, when I was a kid, it was fine because I was like, oh, it's Need for Speed on the go. I can have a Need for Speed game to play. Like, literally, I was playing it earlier, and the graphics are so bad that I confused a wall for the road. Like, that's how bad it was. So I was just driving, I was like, okay, it's straight away over here. Bam, wall. I'm like, oh, wait. That's not what I meant to do. Like, and then I immediately booted up Most Wanted 05 on there. I was like, oh, so much better. But, yeah, so for 2020, I think right now until the C8 comes out, my list would be Mark V, GT500, new Camaro ZL1, the 2020 model, because they didn't make that one ugly at all. They actually kept, what's weird is they kept the 16 18 front on that, and they put the newer taillights on it, so. Small price to pay, but I'd rather have the older one. But then I don't know what I put at number 4. If I were to do a top 5, I don't know what I'd do for 4 and 5 because when it comes to the 2020, there's not like a whole lot of cars I'm like drooling over this year besides the Mark V and the GT500 and the C8 obviously, which isn't out yet, so that's why I'm not counting it yet. Hopefully Hayden will be in momentarily. We can get him in on this because I think his list will be similar to mine, but I think he would probably still say the C8 even though it's not out yet. But yeah, so it's kind of that right now. I hate trying to stall because I'm not very good at stalling, but I'm trying my hardest to try to make the stream so entertaining until he gets in. So I guess just for some general just updates, I guess. I have some mods to the truck, like I said. I've got one mod to do to the truck soon. I've still got the headers, which I know people have been waiting for me to install those headers forever. And like I said, I've had a hard time finding a shop willing to do them. My cousin has said he's got a guy who's willing to do it, so we might take it up there to him sometime soon and do it and knock it out because that'd be cool. Because I really want those headers on. They've been driving me crazy sitting in that box in the corner of my room the last, however long it's been since I got them. And then I'm going to try to get the midcats deleted. So Sport Tracks came with 4 catalytic converters. 2 are the primaries that have sensors, all that junk that are measured and all that. Then there are 2 on the back end of the exhaust towards the muffler that don't have sensors. So if you have a Gen 1, there you go. It's free horsepower and free volume. So just go chop those 2 off that don't have sensors. You're good to go. And then from there, I'm gonna throw the short tubes on. And we're gonna go ahead and finish up the exhaust setup how it is. I want to really bad buy another Super 40 and then get a X pipe, like an Amazon X pipe, and redo the exhaust to dual. It'd be hard because I've heard like where the spare tire is makes it difficult. Because we have to get pipes to route around and then back in or something like that to get it to work properly. Oh, Hayden's in the chat. What are you doing here? Must be like watching while he's driving or something. I don't know. So hopefully he'll be on Discord in a second. Or you can just be on both. I mean, you can talk me on Discord and talk in the chat at the same time. It'd be kind of goofy, but it would work. Oh, yeah, he's still driving. Okay. Now I know where he is, because he said he was like on his way home. He didn't say he was on his way home earlier, but now I think I know where he was coming from. I see you. But I don't know if you were listening, but well, I don't want you to type since you're driving. But yeah, we were talking about like what cars we would have from 2020 until the C8 comes out, obviously, because I feel like for most of us, the C8 would top our list. Most of us. But as you can tell, we fixed it where the chat pops up on stream now. So for continuity, because I was like watching things back and I was like, they don't know what we're talking about. So I put the chat on. So that took some troubleshooting, but I was able to make it work. But yeah. So yeah, like I was saying, just what was I talking about? I was talking about something. But yeah, we're hopefully be able to do that, take it in, and get the mid-cats cut off, because that's a huge burden on me right now. This is mid-cats and those headers. Like I said, my cousin said he's willing to do it. My garage would be the new Explorer ST, 2020 or 2014 GT500, and the good old 01 Sport Track. That's a pretty good garage. I would like this. That's a garage I would actually have to. Well, I look forward to. I'd have some diversity in it too. Like, it's hard because that would be a good garage, but I would love to have. I'd love to have the Sport Track still. I'd love to have a Camaro ZL1 or a Corvette ZR1. It's kind of just like a completely other end of the spectrum. And then I'd love to have like an import, something like a if it were cheap, it'd be like an IS300 or something like that. I really love the IS300 or a Genesis, since it costs about the same now, and it's a little bit nicer, pretty much. Like the Lexus is nice. But like when it comes down, like if you're buying a car for 10 grand, it's really hard to do much better than a Genesis 3.8 right now, for 10. Now if you if you raise your limit up to 12 to 15, and Coyotes start running in there, and LS3 5th gen start popping in there a little bit, higher mileage, that's where Camaros hold their value for whatever reason. But that's always good. But if you're paying 10, it's really hard to do much better than a Genesis 3.8. Really hard. And 10 out of 10 would recommend. I loved putting around Hayden's when he had it. It sounded fantastic. It drove fantastic. I mean, that car was just great in general. Like, as someone who, I haven't driven a lot of cars, but that was one that, well, it's ironic because I guess it's because me and Hayden's choices in cars are pretty similar. I've liked every car he's owned pretty much, besides the Mustang. I never saw his Mustang when he had it. But I really liked driving the Genesis. A little bit of trip the S2000. I don't know. I like the driving experience of the S2000 more, but the Genesis, I feel like, in my opinion, I think Hayden will agree with me on this. The Genesis sounded better, and I think they just sweetened the deal so much more to have this heavenly tone come out of the exhaust. It sounded so good. But yeah, for a dream garage right now as it sits, if I were to buy 5 cars, that would be of ranging time differences. So, I'm going to include my truck in this, will make it 4 cars. It would be Mark IV Supra, of course, 03 Terminator Cobra. I'd get the, I can't remember if it's the 35th or 25th anniversary edition, or the 30th, I don't know. The anniversary edition Cobra, and Mr. Chrome, or Comp Orange. Comp Orange I think would be better, so I'd probably get it in Comp. Trying to think what else I would get. I probably have a Corvette ZR1, and that's 3, I think. Yeah, 3. So I need 1 more. And obviously my truck would still be... No, I'd actually probably... If I had more than 1 car, the truck would probably be like the one sitting on the side. Unless I was like building something else as a race car. The truck would be sitting on the side as the drag build. So, let's see. Well, not really with the other 2 in there. Or all 3 of those other cars. I don't know where the truck would sit. It'd just be there. Because I'd probably, I don't know, because I'd probably have the Supra. All three of those cars really be drag builds, because I really only like drag racing. Um, I'd probably have, trying to think of like a cool, like, I don't know, tow rig. I'd have a tow rig too. So we'll say Duramax or 6.7 Power Stroke, the new Power Stroke. Probably one of those two, the new Duramax, the new Power Stroke for a tow rig. So that'd probably be my list of like cars if money was no option, because gotta have a tow rig. So but yeah, as you guys can tell, I tend to lean more early 2000s than I do late 2000s when it comes to cars. Not really, to be honest. Don't want to think about it, because I really like S550s more than my Strinson Mustang, except for the Terminator. Terminator's better, but either way, um, yeah, it's a mess. It's a huge mess. Um, like where my dream cars always, my dream cars shift a lot, so it's always difficult to decide on what cars I would buy first, because there's a lot of cars I'd have. So yeah, when it comes down to the truck, I've got the lighting kit to install still. Um, so like I talked about in the last video, hopefully by the end of September I'll be able to put an engine in it. I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful that I can make that work. I'm very, very hopeful. And if that don't happen, it's happening in January. So that's a guarantee in January. It's not going to be a hope. Oh, I hope I can get it done in January. It's pretty much as long as everything goes to plan. Which usually, when it comes down to me, nothing ever goes to plan. But if it does, will it work this time? Okay, so Hayden posted his little garage setup. So we'd have Turbos 2K. Fair enough. Hopefully it's your silver one. I know sometimes you don't like that car, but hopefully it's your silver one. The Mark IV, ZR1, a Genesis 3.8T. Okay. I didn't know you put the Genesis that high. I've always thought it kind of sat underneath your radar a little bit now. Not underneath the radar, but I didn't know you liked it enough where you'd be putting it with like in your top 5. So that's kind of cool. I would do that too, to be honestly. And an Evo 9. Yeah, I always thought you liked the 10 more. That's actually a bit of a newsflash to me. I always thought you liked the 10 more. So, well, I don't know. I don't know why I felt like that, because we talked about the 9 more. But either way, I feel that's a good setup too. That'd be another one I'd have. Shoot, I forgot what I was talking about. But yeah, if things actually go to plan for once, because it usually never does. New engine will go in September. And if that doesn't happen, January. But theoretically, if I can get enough money in January, because pretty much I have like a bunch of scholarships, like little scholarships, not like academic scholarships. I'm not that smart, but my parents would really hate me for talking about myself like this. But if things actually work out right with all of that, I'll be able to do both a supercharger and an engine in January, or I can do engine and wrap in January if I don't do the engine in September. The truck needs a lot of body work though, so I'd almost be wanting to paint it, because I would get much better results out of painting it right now than wrapping it. But I really would rather have a wrap, because it's reversible. I can change it whenever I want and have to sand it. So it would work out better for like if I ever wanted to change it. But at the same time, I really would rather paint it, because it would give a much better look, and because I'd have to do so much body work anyway. Because the truck's covered in dents. I mean, it doesn't look as bad on camera, but if you ever see it in person, it's got swirl marks, it's got light scratches, it's got deep scratches, it's got dents all over it, and rust even in some spots. It's not like anything crazy. It's not like on the underside of the truck or anything. There's a tiny spot in the hood, a tiny spot in the door, and a tiny spot on the top of the rear of the cab. Besides that, that's the only spots that has rust on. And again, bodywork would easily clean that up. Sanding it down and painting over it would fix it. But pretty much the supercharger setup, I'm constantly fighting what supercharger setup I want to do. Some people want me to put a Paxton on it, and the problem with that is the Mustang kit, which is what I would have to use. The 4.0 Mustang kit bolts on the side the battery's on. So I have to relocate my battery to the bed, which means I have to get a bed cover that's watertight, so I don't, the water doesn't leak on the battery and short the entire truck out. So I don't want to go through all that. So I'm just gonna do roots blower. I could go turbo as well if I wanted to, twin turbo, whatever. It would cost about the same. It'd be a little bit less to go turbo, but I want it to be daily driver spec. I don't want to have lag. Oh crap, here we go. Even though peak power would be a lot better with a turbo setup on the truck. Um, Super roots blower is probably gonna be my move because I feel like in my case, it would give me the best drivability as a daily driver. But I'm between a ported M90, which is what the mod box is, or a M112, which is off the Cobra. I really want to do the M112 because it's a bigger displacement, more power, right? Even though ported M90 can run about 10 pounds of boost, no problem. I want to be able to run over that because that seems to be where 4s make power. It takes a good bit of boost to make a 4 make power. So theoretically, I'd run an M112 with a billet float pulley on it, which would get it to about 14 pounds. And with porting, maybe up to 15, 16. I'm not going to port the M112 because it's just ridiculous. And on the motor setup I'm going to be running, because I pretty much made my decisions on what I'm going to do if I put a motor in it this soon. And that'll be head studs, built timing kit, done. Because pretty much the stock internals on a 4.0 actually about strong people think. The rods are forged. The pistons aren't, but the rods are. So I'm really debating on if I can swing it when the time comes, getting forged pistons for it. I only need 6, so it won't be too expensive. It'd be cheaper to do it on a 4-cylinder, of course, but I feel like that it wouldn't be too bad. That way, it really just depends how much money I have, because either way, it's going to get a motor, and forged internals or not, we'll be good to go. Because it's already got a forged rod. I got a forged rod. It's got forged rods on it, so it's not something I'm terribly concerned about. The rods, at least, I'm not worried about bending a rod. I'm more worried about melting a piston, losing a piston land, stuff like that. Something that Ford V6s are known for under high power. So I really that's more my concern than anything when it comes to the built motor, which is probably why I probably won't go more than 14 pounds. So if I can only get it to about 400 horsepower, fine, so be it. Pretty much my goal is 385 wheel. 385 wheel. What does it sound like a lot? It's a good bit of power for a truck like that, especially a truck that light for what it is. It's really not that heavy for a mini truck. Like, it is heavier than a Ranger or an S10 or a Colorado. From during that time period or whatever, the pre-new mid-sizes like the new Ranger, the new Colorado, but it's on the heavier side, but it's still around 4,000 pounds. Mine weighs about 4,300 with me and stuff in the back. So if that says anything, it's a pretty light truck. So I feel like 385 wheels is a healthy number for it, because it would give it plenty of power to get out of its own way and plenty of power to, whoop some tail in the drag strip. But it's never going to be like a 10-second car without a 5.0 in it, and I don't want to do that swap because it's a pain. The fit's easy, but the actual, electronic side, wiring it up and doing the harness and stuff is a pain for those things. So that's why I'm not doing a 5.0 swap. It's expensive, and I'd rather spend the money and get a pretty done-up 4.0 instead of, doing a 5.0 swap, getting 5 extra horsepower with a better sound. But that's kind of the goal right now. Like I said, as long as everything goes to plan, September will be new engine. January will be blower/wrap or engine if it gets postponed past that. Because the truck needs a lot right now. It's got a bad rack, so I got to replace that. My dad's let me have it for the last few months about that. And then from there, I got to get the camber kit put in and get that adjusted. I got to get new tires for the front. And then from there, I'll be sitting on whatever I have left until pretty much what I can do then is I can actually use that extra money towards other parts. I can try to get a deal on some ported heads for the truck if I wanted to. I really don't want to do cams right now because of the cost of tuning. I don't want to have to go and drop hundreds of dollars on tuning. Only have to go back when I get a blower put on it and then have to do it all over again. So the only way I would do it is if I was able to do it all at once. So say January. If I were able to go and get everything done at once, I would do cams. But I can't right now, at least. Because if I put a motor in September, I'm not doing cams. But if I have enough to do it all in January, I'll might put cams in it, even though it's $2,000 to cam the 4.0 on stock heads. So that's a little wild, but the cams aren't that expensive. They're like 600, like 600, 700 bucks on their own, but it's more the other accessories you'll need to make it work on a stock head, because apparently that really doesn't work well. So yeah, with an Eaton and 112, I want to hit 385 wheel. That's the goal. Because any higher than that, I might blow. I hear the first gen tracks and have some PSI easily. If you put head studs in, because what's wrong with the 4.0? This is the 4.0s in entirety. So Mustang, Sport Track, Explorers, whatever. They can't handle past 10 on the stock head bolts, because the head bolts on that 4.0 are very weak. So if you run about 11, 12 pounds, you're pushing it. You're chancing it. But once you get those upgraded head studs in, you're good to go. And I'd recommend a timing kit too, because those timing kits are awful. And I'm only wanting to replace the motor because my motor's healthy. To my understanding, it has good compression. It doesn't misfire anymore. I fixed that. I only want to do it because it costs the same to replace the timing chains. Yeah, I will blow up that weak trans. That's a guarantee. I'll lose the trans. It's almost a guarantee I'll kill that 5R. It's got a warranty. But I don't want to have to deal with that again. So it'd almost be worth the investment to put a built 5R in at the same time, because they sell that. It's an easy snag, and it's not even that expensive. But man, anytime I think about that trans, it's like, oh man. It's the weak link of any Explorer platform or Ranger from that time period, is that transmission. It's usually what will end that truck's life, is those transmissions, because people who have to replace them constantly, like, it's gonna go. Don't worry, I got AAA. Oh man, I don't like thinking about that. I have to get it towed again. That was awful. I wish you'd been behind us in that happened, Hayden, because you were like 3 cars in front of us whenever we had to get that thing towed. It was awful. Those transmissions are so weak, though. It's like I said, the weakest link for any 5R, like any 5R 55E chassis, Explorer, Ranger, whatever. It's awful, and apparently people are saying you don't need a lot to make it handle 400. I'm like, well, I don't trust it. I actually have it bookmarked. I'll pull it up real quick so you guys can see it. Well, I'll talk about it because I don't really want to fight the thing to actually change it. So, where is it? Make 5R55E hold decent power. And they deleted the forum post. Come on. Explorer forum? Evil. Okay. So now I can't find that. So, yeah. Explorer forum took the post down. Son of a gun. I was going to talk about that. But they were saying it was like valve body and extra transmission coolers will do it. Because the 5R just gets really hot. It really does. Like, 5Rs get stupid hot. Like, I have the tuner on mine, I have a monitor and all that stuff. It averages, right now at least, with the extremely hot weather we've been having here in Georgia this year, I average like 160, 170 degrees Fahrenheit on the trans. On any drive, really. And coolant temps aren't much better. I honestly am almost debating investing in an expensive radiator. Not because mine's broken, but because it gets stupid hot. It's not overheating hot. It's not like it's like 250, 260, 270 degrees. So it would be overheating. It's like 200 to 220, which I feel like is hot. Most cars usually run 210. That's usually their operating temp. But it's not really. I'm not used to it because on hot days and it's like moving, just creeping forward like in traffic jams and stuff, it gets hot really fast. But that transmission is the weak link of these trucks. So they actually do sell a built 5R. I'll top of the website here. It is off of SP Precision. It's their XP1 5R55E. And they charge, once I can get the thing up, It's about $15.95. It's $15.95. Core deposit of $500. So it comes out about $2,000 for the set of trans. Like I said, it's got a performance torque converter, shift kits, and improved valve bodies. So I mean, it's a pretty well done 5R. I feel like it's probably one of the best transmissions you can get. And I tried really hard to get one. When I took the truck in when the original trans blew up. But they were persistent to just put another stalker in. So even though I wasn't paying for it, I really should have just done it and just been like, here, y'all install it. Because part of the cost was getting the transmission. Granted, they just rebuilt the one I had, but I would have much rather just put the build trans in it, to be honest, and just ship the other one back and got my $500 back. Would have cost less probably. Theoretically, next time it goes out, I want to find someone who has a lift and put it up there and swap this trans in myself, because it's probably cheaper to do it that way. And it's just bell housing bolts. I mean, and hooking up all like the connectors and stuff. So I really don't feel like it'd be that hard. So that's the plan. If I blow another 5R anytime soon, XP1 transmission's going in. Or XP. I've heard it called XP1 before. Oh yeah, it's Extreme Performance Series 1. So it's got their Advanced Dyno Performance Testing rating. It's covered from 1994 to 2012. It's got a performance grade lockup torque converter included. Performance grade remanufactured, not rebuilt. It's got original manufacturer flaws and TSB recertification. Shift kits, valve bodies, seal bearing, clutch packs, bushings, bands, signal regulator and boost valve, corrosion resistance, TCC valve and regulator, torque converter, and much more. That TCC valve is what broke on my last one. Can you get a transcooler? I probably could. I have to find one. They say that you can. So alternate names: 555E, 544, 4R44. So yeah, this is the transmission I'd get if I blow another 5R up, because this was a good transmission, and I'd probably last longer, because I like long-lasting transmissions. That's literally what I hate about American cars when it comes to autos. Every single one I've come across, Mopar and Chevy used to be the worst, but I think Ford was pretty bad too. But old Chevys and old Mopar, pretty much all three American brands, if you had an automatic, it was good luck. You never made it very far with an automatic in an American car in the early 2000s. The 4L60 was garbage. Whatever the heck Dodge was using was garbage. My mom went through like a billion not literally a billion. I think it was closer to like 8 transmissions in her Caravan. Then, let's see. And then of course the 5Rs are awful as well. Pretty much anything with an automatic from early 2000s America was awful. That's why you got to stick around the 2000s. You can actually make it places. I really don't like old automatics. The Allisons were fine. The Allisons are good. But pretty much anything else that was like built by the company, so like the 5Rs, the 4Ls, and the whatever the heck Dodge uses, those sucked. But I've heard the Allison transmissions are really good. I don't have any complaints with the Allison trans. There's a reason they're well known, so that makes sense that the Allisons were good back then. I've been really debating trying to find like a Duramax, like for like a tow haul thing one day, like an older Duramax, because I don't want, because the Power Strokes still have 4Rs in them. I don't want to deal with that. And I love Power Strokes. I love the sound Power Strokes make. I don't want to deal with the 6.0, and I don't want to deal with the 4R, and I don't want to deal with the 7.3 slowness, because that's just slow. The 7.3s are slow, especially in IDI form. Like Hayden's dad has a IDI ambulance. It is so slow. And you can attest. I think you've driven it. I think he's driven the ambulance. It's pretty slow. Another terrible transmission are the Jatco transmissions. I've never heard of a Jatco transmission before. What were those in? I've never heard of them before. But yeah, pretty much all the American companies, with the exception of Allison transmissions and Duramaxes, They all suck. Most modern Nissans. Yeah, that makes sense. Nissans are, especially CVTs. CVTs are awful. My mom was looking at a Rogue before she bought her Equinox, and I was like, please do not get the CVT. Make sure it's an actual auto. Because CVTs are known to fail very, very quickly. So I always say avoid CVTs like the plague because they're just that bad. And I hate CVTs. They suck. So yeah, don't buy a CVT, guys. But I forgot Hayden's in the chat. he can like hit the thing for me. Unless Dalton or Michael's hiding in there somewhere. I can agree with Hayden a little bit. Nissans are not that great now. Even the GTR was having transmission problems. I'd heard. Now I don't know, not the newest ones, but like the like when they were first coming out, they all had transmission problems. Evan Shanks, I think. Well, Evan Shanks just has like some sort of bell housing problem. I think some sort of rattle. But I've heard some of them have really bad transmission issues. That's why I avoid Nissan now. Their build quality is well, they've never been that great, to be honest. People like tend to give Nissan a lot more credit than they actually are supposed to have. My opinion. In my opinion, Nissan's overrated. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of those. More junk when they went with Renault. Bad decision. Yeah, I agree. Renault's not really known for build quality, and Nissan kind of themselves under the bus when they did that. They kind of screwed themselves big time. So, yeah, I like I've said in the past, the R35 just bores me. There's not really a lot of cars when it comes to Nissan that grab my attention anymore. I'm like, I really want that. The Z hasn't been updated in years, and it's still a VQ platform, and y'all know how I feel about the VQ. I've made it clear enough how much I don't like the VQ. The GTR bores me. I hate to say that, because I know all the 12-year-olds be furious, but R35s bore me. I literally have... There's so many other cars I'd rather have than a GTR. I'd rather have an Adrenaline than a GTR. I get it. GTRs are faster, but they bore me. That's the problem. They don't look very good. They just look mediocre, at least. They look big. They look good enough to distinguish themselves from other cars, but that's about it. They aren't like, you know, wow, look at me. I'm a GTR. Buy me. Like it's a trumpets. And the sound, like Hayden just pointed out, they sound awful. I really don't like the sound of GTRs. People love the sound of GTRs. I don't. I can't stand the sound of GTRs. Because it reminds me of VQs. I don't like the sound of VQs either. I need to try to rest my arm at the top of this water bottle on my armrest on my seat. But I would not buy an R35 if it was the last thing I could drive. I'd rather walk. Like, there's just nothing redeeming about it to me. Yeah, it's got crazy good launch control. So does a Tesla that's cheaper. So does, well, pretty much a lot of other cars. The Supra has good launch control. The 2020 Supra has good launch control. The C7 has pretty good launch control. The Mustang has good launch control. I mean, so many cars have good launch control. It's not just the GTR. I honestly don't get the hype of the GTR. I hate it because the fanboys would get mad. GTR and Fortnite victories have something in common. Every 12-year-old wants one. Pretty much. Like, really, GTRs don't get me excited. And I hate Fortnite, so that'll tick off a lot of people too. I really don't like Fortnite. But it makes complete sense. This is literally what I was thinking. GTRs and Fortnite are literally the only things that 12-year-olds want. I really don't get the hype for them. Like I said, there's so many cars I'd rather have. I'd rather have the Mark V to a GTR if I had to choose. And darn well have a C7 or a Mustang before I'd go on. I mean, my shirt doesn't explain that enough. Let's get off the GTR though before the fanboys start tuning in and I get flamed. So, yeah. So I don't get flamed with the kids. That's not on the GTR. Shoot, I really don't know what to talk about now. I'm kind of heated up about GTRs now. Oh man. So I'm gonna be talking to Hayden probably tonight. Well, I mean he's hearing about it now. We've been talking about for a little while about doing a podcast, like a proper Car Guys podcast, to kind of like evolve off these Roast Tires live streams. I want to get some opinions of what we should call it because I haven't talked to Hayden yet. I want to get Hayden's opinion too, so I know he's in the chat, so you can probably tell me now. But we've been talking about trying to do a podcast for a while now. We want to do like kind of format because I want to do like a specific topic and then kind of blend it in with what we do now, ramble on and just random bull crap we can talk about. So I guess just give me some ideas for like how you guys think we should run the podcast because we do this rambling stuff. You know, it works very well for a live stream. It's very gosh, Aiden's trying to really get me back on GTRs. but so like I want to have like a specific topic. Like for example, I really want the first episode of it to be on hate in the car world because it's all something we can all relate to. All of us have had hate in the car world. Like myself, especially Hayden can vouch for it. I'm pretty sure all of you guys in the chat or watching the stream, even after this has gone live, as just like an archive, can attest to having hate thrown your way in the car world. So that's really what I want the first episode to be on, to get to me and Hayden's insight or any special guests we have, because we do want to have special guests as well. At least I do. I don't know if Hayden does. But we want to have people come on every once in a while for certain episodes, and I feel like Hate in the Car Community is a good one to start off with, and I feel like that'd be a good one to have, like, you know, like Michael in, for example, or some other person who wants to get involved in the podcast. I drive a Honda, everyone hates me. Pretty much any non-car guy is like, why does this man have a Honda that's so loud? It sounds like garbage. Who would put an exhaust on a Honda? You know, that kind of bullcrap. I think the car's awesome. I like Hondas. You guys know. As a guy who like worships the Cobra and everything Mustang and like Corvette, I love Hondas. I would back to GTRs. I would much rather have a 1997 Honda Civic DX automatic than a GTR. I'm going that low. Because I can make us want the Civic, but you get the idea. But anyway, I really like Hondas. So, I don't get the hate that Honda guys get. I really don't. I get it. They have the bad apples. Every car company has a bad apple. Honda just seems to have more of them. So, I actually really love Honda's cars. They really know how to make anything interesting. Like, the Accord V6 is interesting. And it's just an Accord. Like, you would think it's a family car. How could it be fun? Honda makes it fun somehow. Honda can make anything interesting. Like, heck, there are guys out here in Atlanta that build Odysseys. Like, that's kind of cool. You know, it's crazy when you're able to build a minivan to be fun. It's a freaking minivan, and guys out here, like, you know, putting them on air with fender flares, wheels, all of that jazz. So, I mean, they really are making these cars. Honda just knows how to make things interesting. And, anyway, like I was saying, I feel like that hate would be a good first topic. So, pretty much that's set in stone. What the first episode of the podcast selection will be hate in the car world. Because there's so much of it. You know, there's like, for example, like when the Mark V was first being announced, you know, all the people are like, oh, it's a BMW. It's not a Supra. You know, I want to talk more about that and, you know, kind of a broad thing about hate in car meets, hate in just in general in the car world. Because there's just so much of it. Man, I really should not have gotten on the bandwagon of like talking about GTRs. That was a bad idea. Everyone's in on it now. Take a Razor scooter. I don't know. I die on a Razor scooter. I've fallen off them so many times. I don't know about that one. I'd walk before I did either. Really. Oh man, I really don't like Razor scooters anymore. I've almost killed myself in so many of those things. But yeah, I want you guys' insight though, because I want this to be kind of community driven. And we're gonna do these live for the first little while, and then if things get rowdy and, you know, things start becoming a problem, we'll film them offline. Like behind I don't know, we'll properly film and edit them. But to start off with, we're gonna shoot them live. So me and Hayden are probably gonna talk more about it whenever he gets on here, and we can kind of it has a nicer interior. There is no interior in a Razor scooter. We talk about it. We can talk about it more and try to actually formulate what we're going to call it, what we want to do about it. You know, I'll have to make some overlays because, like, the guys, you guys see the roast tires live up here and down here, all that jazz. Razor scooter has some nice leather seats. I actually never had one that had the seat on. I always had the ones you had to stand on. But yeah, that's pretty much the plan. We want to start a podcast very soon. That's a proper podcast that we can talk like about car stuff on. You know, it won't be like this is where it's just a bunch of rambling and random topics. We kind of organize everything and then ramble afterward. We'll have like certain topics we'll talk about. We'll hit the main topic, then we'll kind of just trail off and do whatever we want to after that, and probably do it a little bit earlier too, because I mean we do these streams late at night, so not a lot of people are available at this time of night. So it doesn't have a crappy plastic dash. I don't even know, man. I should not have brought up the GTR. I'm kind of regretting this decision now. The 12-year-olds can come after me for that. You don't like the GTR? What? Man, I'm gonna get so much hate for this. Talking about GTR, so it's a bad idea. I like that everyone has similar opinions though, because that means I'm not getting flamed in the chat right now. That's kind of nice. So, oh, I just noticed we're actually getting really close to 650. I still haven't done my 600 sub special. Oh man, I guess I gotta get to work on that soon, don't I? So yeah, we're close. We're making progress. So thanks everyone who's been supporting the channel, all of you guys that are new, old, all of that. I know Hayden's been around for a minute. It's funny. I never really went to the story about how Hayden was actually a subscriber to the channel before we met. I always thought it was a really cool story. I actually never knew that until he'd actually told me about it, not too long after we met. But I always thought it was kind of cool. I don't really consider one of those subscriber turned friends things because I didn't know he was a subscriber until after the fact. But a lot of people who actually didn't know that. That's actually, pre me and Hayden's friendship. He was actually a subscriber, which was pretty cool. I think it was off a Boosted Mafia video. I think he said him and Jake used to watch him at work. I don't know if that was after he met us or before then. I'm finally gonna be there in a sec. All right, Hayden's gonna be on. Yes. So, I'm gonna run out of water too. I'm very disappointed. Yeah, we're gonna try to actually formulate a proper podcast and do all that jazz. So, mouse, there it is. So I will say though, if anyone's into tech, I'm trying to trade my laptop. I have this 2017 ROG GL553VE laptop. I mentioned it at the end of my last video, but in case someone actually wants it, I'm looking to get rid of this thing. So if anyone is actually interested in getting a gaming laptop for themselves, I'm wanting to trade this one for a desktop, a proper gaming desktop. So if you're interested, please do not wait and text me. Go ahead and text me now. I love to hang out with Hayden and you. I'm all the way in California. I love to hang out. Hopefully, dude, if you ever come down to Georgia, let me know. Because I always love meeting subscribers and hanging out with subscribers. I want to go to California one day. That's all. It's on my bucket list to go out there. I really want to go to... I'm trying to think of like one of the places I want to go to. I really want to go. I just want to go to California in general. It's a really nice state. I had some issues with the stream. It's crapping out big time right now. So, Hayden will be on momentarily, so I can minimize Discord after that. I don't know what's going on with this thing. It's like encoding overloaded. Like, yeah, I know this video card's not liking this too much, having all this stuff open at once. There we go. Now we're fine. But I have to try to watch the chat at the same time. I'm just trying to have Discord up. It's not working. So, and overloaded again. But anyway, like I said, I'm looking just to trade this thing for a similar desktop. So contact me on Instagram, 1low4.0, if you guys are interested in getting a gaming laptop, because I just want a desktop. That's really it. I don't hate this thing too much. It hasn't been the smoothest running computer I've ever owned. It's been a pain sometimes, and I know it's all thermal related. This thing runs really hot, so that's the only problem with it. It helps to have a cooling mat. I will say that if you do actually buy either mine or just any other ROG laptop, get a cooling mat. It actually helps. A lot of people say, "Well, cooling mats will help." They actually help in this case because these things run very hot. And the last time I streamed without it, it crashed on me. It blue screen midstream. So, in my personal recommendation, if you're gonna get an ROG laptop at all, any Asus laptop that's like beefy, get a cooling mat. That's one thing I do like about the Apple ones though, because I have a MacBook too, and that thing is silent. I never have any issues with the MacBook being loud. This thing, on the other hand, like literally, it's annoyingly loud. I've been to Warner Robins and the Museum of Aviation. Maybe it's close or far from you guys. It's about Warner Robins is about an hour and 45 minutes from here, I think. Maybe a little bit less, maybe a bit more. I'm trying to remember because it's close to Macon. Macon's 2 hours exactly from here. Where me and Hayden are. Well, it's actually more closer to like an hour, like 2 hours and 30 minutes from Hayden because Hayden's a little bit farther away. He doesn't live down the street from me anymore. Used to be Hayden lived like literally right down the road from me, and it was really cool. It was like a 5-minute drive between our houses. Because it always be funny because 9 times out of 10, one of us had really bad internet signal. We would text each other, "Oh, we're on the way," and it wouldn't send it until we would get to each other's house. So it'd be like, "Oh, we're on the way," and then they walk outside and we're there. But that was nice when he lived really close. He doesn't anymore, unfortunately. But it was nice when he did. My man needs to get on. So we can get him in here. He said, I'm going to grab a burr. Buddy. He said that a few minutes ago. Gosh darn it. Get that beer. Hop on here. But, yeah, Warner Robins is about an hour and a half away from us. I've been down past Warner Robins. I've been down to Macon before. Because we visited Super 6 down there about a year ago, 2 years ago. Me and Michael went down to go get parts for his Taurus when he had that. And those guys are awesome. Those guys are seriously awesome. I haven't met a lot of like cool like shop guys. That was one of them. And that's probably gonna be where I'm gonna get most of my parts from. Like they sell the head studs and the heads and cams, whatever, for my truck. So I might go down there eventually too. Well, he's back on Discord. He's on. He's not calling. I was gonna start the voice call. My voice is connected. It's not. The stream's not liking that too much. Switch the audio on him. Well, I'll wait for him to get on first. Come on, Aiden. Come on. Anytime. It says you're online, or you're not answering the call. Hey, Dan. I cannot hear you for whatever reason. Hold on a sec. Something's not right here. I've been having issues with the audio in this thing, like ever. Is the headphones or any? Wow, that makes sense. The headphones have been on this entire time. That makes sense. Oh. Hold on a sec. Hold on, I can hear you, but it sounds like crap. There we go. I've got him. I'm sorry. Switching to Hayden volume. 3, 2, 1. You're on.
Oh my god.
We now officially have a Hayden. Struggling to open the beer, Hayden?
What?
That card guy said struggling to open the beer?
Struggling to get my laptop to fucking thing's a junker.
Did you love your drive home?
Dude, that was the longest drive home, I swear.
Were you coming from who I think you were coming from?
Yeah.
Happens to own a car related
coming
to
from an inn?
Huh? Yeah. who drives something closely related to the R35?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
It sounded like a trumpet.
It sounds just like a GTR. But anyway. So okay, so you weren't in here when I talked about it earlier. Well, okay, so if you picked 3 cars that are 2020 model year cars, the C8's not out yet, so that doesn't count just yet. What are you buying?
C8. 3 C8s.
3 C8s. But the C8's not out yet, so don't count that yet.
What's coming out in 2020 that's actually interesting was that Supra?
And then the refresh Camaro, maybe?
Is it interesting?
That's not interesting. Nope.
Because they just made the taillights uglier.
The taillights are pretty ugly. Okay, then C8 counts.
I guess 3 Supras.
3 Supras, close enough. What colors?
Any of them, I don't care.
Black, red, and white.
Yeah, that works.
The new 2020 Corolla seems interesting. I will say, the new Corolla hatchback's a snazzy looking little car.
Looks good. Slow.
It's very slow, but it looks good. Toyota's on the right
Yeah, it
line.
looks all right.
Super.
Looks way better than the regular Corolla.
Yeah, it does. I wonder if anyone's come out with like any mods from it. Cause I know, trying to think. Super Street had one for their SEMA build was a new Corolla hatch. So I'm curious to see how that went. Like what they've got out right now. So they started that last year or 2018. I'm gonna look it up. Almost it looks darn good. And it gets freaking 32 miles per gallon. 42 highway. Like, you can't really go wrong with that.
Yeah, make a pretty sweet daily. Make it come in a manual too.
It does.
Something that comes in a manual.
Yeah, comes in manual. Let's see. I'm trying to find like when that generation started. It may have been 19. Okay, so it's got 168 horsepower. It's not bad, I guess. For an actually, I guess.
I watched a review on it today, and I was just, yeah, it's pretty slow.
Yeah, like I know it's not like the fastest thing in the world.
They were saying pretty much get a Civic before you got the Corolla.
I'd agree.
I was like, can't argue that.
You really can't. Let's see, aftermarket. Aftermarket parts. Aftermarket exhaust. You want to put an exhaust in your Corolla? Hold up.
Oh,
what? The Borla makes an exhaust for it.
Wow.
That's kind of cool. Today, I counted my Borla attacks for my Corolla.
I already got a straight pipe 4-cylinder. I
Don't need another one. NVIDIA makes something for them. HKS has an exhaust, 2 exhausts for them. Borla's got one. They've got the NVIDIA and one for the Super 86. MagnaFlow appears might have something. Why am I getting Mustang stuff all of a sudden? I found the
Same thing.
yeah, totally same thing as a Corolla. I found a video of the Super Street one that they did. That the red one they built. That thing was clean. Like I really like the new Corolla hatch.
I like the blue that it comes in.
Oh, the one I saw was blue, and I saw it in when I was moving to the dorm. I saw a blue one at that Arby's right up the street from the school. I was like, oh dang, okay.
The blue looks nice.
It's like nitrous blue, very similar.
Yeah.
Should add 6 more horsepower, and it only costed $700 for the exhaust. Actually, the Borla is 900, almost 900.
900.
Yeah, it's expensive. Okay, I did find one. No, it's a 1.8 liter. Where was the one I just saw? I'll go back. Yeah, the Borla catback is $852. The Borla axleback is $530. The Remark exhaust is $400. There's two of them, 2.5 inch, and the other one, which is $432, and that's from MA Performance. The NVIDIA N1 is $385. The HKS is $378. Be cool if ISR made an exhaust. I really love ISR.
If you're gonna buy a sporty hatchback, what would you buy?
Shoot, like for like that's new or just in general?
Just in general, just any year, don't matter.
It can be any hatchback. So even
Any hatchback.
even the God tier hatchbacks is included.
Yeah.
Probably the new Type R.
New Type R.
Either that or the RS, and then if I were buying a non-turbo, just a daily driver hatch, it'd probably be between the Civic hatch and the Corolla hatch. But if I'm talking like highest end, it'd be Civic, like in that order, in this order: Civic Type R, Focus RS, Golf R.
Yeah.
Because I love the Type R, the Civic Type R, but I do like the RS too.
Are you talking about the old one or the new one?
The Type R?
Yeah.
The newest one.
Oh, man.
Nasty.
Thought you know about the good one.
The good one is good. There's going to be a new TRD Camry and Avalon as well. That's interesting to me. That Toyota's like going all crazy, the TRD division, on the cars that no one would buy as a sports car.
Yeah, when's the TRD Super coming out?
Yeah, I'm more curious. Like, TRD's already done stuff with the Supra, so that's kind of cool. It's not like a TRD model, but they have like a kit you can buy for like aesthetics, like a body kit, pretty much. It's expensive.
Oh yeah, don't worry. They added plenty of places for you to add stuff, but didn't put it on the freaking car.
Watch that be the TRD model. It comes with a lot of stuff.
It should have come with it already, but whatever.
Goodness, come on. This is the one complaint I have to Mark V, besides the auto, is
How long do you think it's going to take for their bag wide-bodied and you see them everywhere? Stands with cars.
Let's see, what's today? Is that a Friday? Sunday.
Yeah, that's about right.
I want ones like that, dude. Mark V is like one of those cars that I liked enough. I didn't think I was gonna be like all over it. Now I'm like all over it. I want one really bad. I did have a random dream last night, Hayden. I was driving a 6th gen like Camaro around.
Oh yeah.
Is that a foreshadowing from my dreams? Are my dreams trying to say something? Am I gonna be in a 6th gen Camaro? What was also weird is my brother was a cop in that dream too.
Your brother was a cop.
I don't see Liam becoming a cop anytime soon.
He realizes he has to drive at night though, doesn't he? He's a cop.
He watches. Oh, actually, I don't think he watches my streams anymore. I don't think he pays attention much to my channel. All I know is I feel the AC coming in from my bedroom, and I'm finally glad my office is actually kind of cold. It's kind of nice.
That office is never cold.
It's the laptop. Literally, when the laptop's off, it's ice cold in here. But the moment the laptop heats up, it heats the office up. Like, this dang thing's a space heater in here. If it was a 2019 Camaro Session, Dreams was a nightmare. No, I think it was a 16. I think it was a 16 or 17. I've had some weird...
That's a good one.
Yeah. Like, I've had some weird dreams when it comes to cars. One of my other dreams earlier this week, I had a white, like, 2013 Mustang V6 convertible. It was so weird. I was like, why the heck would I have that?
You have a lot more dreams about cars than I do.
I don't know what it is, dude. I guess it's just cars that's just that big in my life. I dream about them, too. But I also had a dream I had a girl. Actually, in that dream I had a girlfriend, too. That's how you know it's a dream.
I was about to say, that's how you know you're dreaming.
Girls don't want me. But, yeah. I don't know what's been going on in my dreams lately. I've had Mustangs and the Camaros. I'm like, what's the next? I'm gonna wake up. I'm in a dream. I have a Dodge Demon or something like that tonight. I'll be like, oh great, get this out of here. Get this out of here. Sell it. I really don't like the Demon. It's another one of those cars I feel like is overhyped. Because it's the everyone can beat it.
So Maddie put some really expensive wheels on her 350Z.
What kind of wheels? And?
You're lagging, bro.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
What kind of wheels?
T's.
Like authentic?
Actual T's.
Dang,
actual
okay.
T's.
She's got good taste.
I was like, goddamn. Big spender.
She's got good taste.
It's like, we should put them on a car that actually looks good like mine.
Did you really say that?
No, but I was thinking it.
Is she?
They're 19s and they look like Dobersons.
Oh, she put 19s on it?
Mm-hmm.
I want to see what this looks like. I'm going to look it up. Unless you have a picture of the car to send me.
I don't have a picture of her car. She doesn't use social media besides Snapchat.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
Weird. I know. I've never seen a girl that doesn't have social medias.
Like Instagram or Facebook. She doesn't even have a Facebook.
No, she doesn't have Facebook. I don't blame her. Because Facebook fucking garbo and old people.
A little bit. They don't look that bad. They look a little big. They look a little big, but they aren't like, putting like 25s on a car.
No, I mean, it fits. It's a big enough car.
Yeah.
But
Because I actually found a
good
video.
Lord.
So this is kind of what it look like. I'm going to actually do the thing. Where's the thing? Monitor 1? That didn't do anything. I guess because it's so low. There we go. Yeah, there it is. That's kind of what the car looks like. I can fix that because that looks stupid. And no, before anyone asks, I'm not running Windows XP. It's a skin pack. Before anyone asks, because I've got the, I've got.
running XP.
I have people ask me all the time if I'm running Windows XP. I'm not running Windows XP. Like I said, I'm not a VQ guy, but I can respect the fact that 350Z at least looks decent. Like, it's not an ugly car. It is a bit egg-shaped. I just don't like the motor. Like, literally, if I could get a 350Z shell, I'd be fine. Yeah, I could do that. If I can put a 2-gen LS in it, which is what I would do, it wouldn't get another VQ. VQ would be gone. Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.
The problem, though, is finding a 350Z roller is hard, because you'll be more likely to find one that's wrecked than you will be finding one that's a roller. Let's see, I'm going to go
I'm trying
on
to convince her to get something cool, but she is convinced to keep that car.
She needs an S2000.
Mm-hmm.
Give her yours.
Hatch.
A Corolla hatch?
Give her mine. The hell?
I'm just kidding, don't do that. Or
Dude,
you...
I don't want it to get wrecked.
Aw, that's mean. Gosh. Dude, I just found a 2004 Z06 commemorative edition on Craigslist for $12.
There you go. Go buy it.
It's a Z06.
You go buy it.
A Z06 for $12.
Yeah, go buy it.
Why aren't you trying to buy it?
Huh? I don't use Z06.
Only you don't like is a picture of it in the back of a trailer.
Because it's broke.
It has 172K.
Jesus.
But it looks good. Like, it looks perfect. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. There's the picture. Uh-oh, Street Speed did a video of the C8, and he's changing his Corvette spec after seeing this video. After seeing this spec. ZR1 chases C8 on the road.
Oh, wow.
He must have had a showdown with the C8.
He gapped it.
Probably. Oh, he slaughtered.
Well,
Well, I don't
want
know.
a ZR1. That'd be nice.
Go by Street Speed's offer. Offer him like $1 million for it.
$1 million? Jesus Christ.
He'd sell it to you. Be like that guy that shafted you at a Donkey Kong today.
I still haven't even got to play my new game.
Huh?
I still haven't even got to play my new game yet.
Do it right now.
I'm talking to a homo.
Oh, I see how it is.
Fucking live stream. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm so
Did I
offended.
hurt you? Did I hurt your vagina?
If I had one.
Tampons for your birthday. You'll be all right.
My birthday was last week. I think.
Happy late birthday, Jordan.
What am I going to do with some
Here's your
tampons?
Tampax.
What am I going to do with those?
Stick them up your cootie.
But I have a wiener, so. Why are we talking about this on stream? This is weird.
Sure weird.
Bruh. You cannot lose in this car unless you pass it up. Car's not new. It's not, but it's not $35K. It's $12.5 cash, face to face only.
Face to face on me. I don't want that fucking junker.
But it's a Z06.
Yeah. I'd have to roll it home like Flintstone style.
But Hayden,
Stick my
LS6.
feet through the floorboard.
But Hayden, LS6.
I'll buy it and sell the chassis and stick it in a Honda.
That's got 172K on it.
Or rebuild it.
Fair enough. What was I coming on to Craigslist for?
If it isn't locked up, I'm ready. It'll go right in. Be all right.
Fair enough. 350Z roller. Let's see. I spelled roller wrong. Ha! Hold on. Let me fix that with the other L in. Nothing found. 350Z. Let's see. Look up 350Z. Cheapest one on Craigslist. Why are people still trying to sell these stank suckers for $7,000? These are not worth that much.
I know. People think they're like $7-8 cars, but they're not.
It's like
They're $5,000.
it's like 240 guys.
Yeah, like I don't want your junker like 8 colored 240 with dented quarter panels.
The cheapest one on here is $49.99. And it is the very, very rare color of silver.
You can get Genesis 2.0 Ts for cheaper now than
Pretty much.
350Zs.
Let's go to Auto Tempest because I really love Auto Tempest. Shoot, I typed stuff wrong again. If I could type today, dude. It's just keyboard. I really don't like the keyboard in this thing. That's part of why I want to get the desktop. Turn the pop-up blocker off.
What are you on your ROG?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I haven't streamed from the MacBook yet. I just realized that.
I thought you might have been streaming for it just to try it out.
I haven't done that yet. I haven't even installed OBS or nothing. That thing's quiet. Like, it's so weird how quiet the thing actually is. Like,
I
even...
thought it was quiet, too.
Huh?
My Dell's pretty quiet.
Yeah, it is. 3.8 Genesis Coupe manual. Let's see how much. What do you think it's going to cost, Aiden? What you thinking? Cheapest one.
Cheapest one?
Mm-hmm.
$7,000.
7. Okay,
Yeah.
so the cheapest one that's showing up on here is a 2013 R-Spec in Chattanooga, 64,000 miles. Take a guess. What you thinking?
It's a 2013
Mm-hmm. R-Spec.
manual.
Manual, yes. With 64K.
12 grand.
Your first guess was actually right. It was 10.9.
9, damn, it's not bad.
64K on the clock, too. So it's got the LSD. It's got all the good stuff. 2012 R-Spec. For 12.5, it's got 94K. Why the heck are they selling it more? 2016 3.8 base for 16.5 with 15,000 miles. That's what my dad paid for his Mustang. 2013 track for 17.9, 52,000 miles. That's in Brunswick. You can go do that and go visit Josh on the way up. Like, hey Josh, look what Aiden bought. Another Genesis. This one's nicer.
You should have got a basic Mustang.
No, I don't think it's that. I think he likes the Genesis, to my knowledge. I don't even think he wants the V6 Mustang.
He likes American cars.
He dogged on Honda until I showed him what K20s were capable of. And he's like, oh, okay. And he likes S2000s. He gives it's on his own tier to him.
I would say Honda's we got that Cadillac.
Like when I was talking to him, he's like, "Oh, your friend's got a Honda." Though I'm like, "It's an S2000." He goes, "Oh, you never said S2000. That's on its own tier. I don't consider it a Honda. It's an S2000."
I'm thinking an SX.
Yeah, when it comes down to Hondas, whenever people like talk about how Hondas suck, it's like they're only referring to Civics. They don't they put the S2000 NSX on its own tier.
Yeah, they do. They'll literally suck you off. I've never had the car community suck me off harder than when I've had this car. Like, they love it. They're like, oh, you got an S2000.
Like,
It's
literally,
like, yeah. And they're like, oh, my God.
remember when we hung out?
Those things are nice. I had a couple kids tell me there's their dream car, and I was like, God damn.
Yeah, remember that? Remember we hung out with Bladed and he shouted you and Michael on your Instagram, on y'all's Instagram, and Michael shafted me from getting involved. And that one kid was like, "Yeah, I wish I had an S2000 like you."
Oh, yeah, I remember that guy. Yeah, dude, the car community is gay for STKs. That's like it seems to be pretty universally loved.
Yeah.
Which I'm surprised about.
Cheapest 6K, highest 12. Yeah, they tend to run, like for the 2.0s. If I go back and take the engine off, like just go to 2.0s and 3.8s involved.
2.0s are dirt cheap.
Yeah, they are.
They're slow, but they're dirt cheap.
The old ones are, at least. The
BK ones are slow.
You said the BK2 ones are pretty good.
BK2s make 274. The BK ones make 210.
What the heck?
But you can drop a tune on those and get them close to 300.
Pretty quickly.
They're like they're dumbed down Evo motors.
Yeah, I think it is pretty much the 4B11. Wow.
They're pretty buildable.
Yeah, there's still no 2.0s showing up for cheaper than that 2013 3.8 R-Spec. So the cheapest one on Auto Tempest is 10.9 right now.
Oh, dude, don't worry about it. The STK is just smoke in general. Mine does it.
They just do
Most Hondas just burn oil while in VTEC and just in general, like burn it.
Yeah, the Honda motors just burn oils in general. A lot of like performance car engines from that time period, they did that. Like even VQs do it. I think worse than Hondas do. But pretty much any Honda motor that has VTEC burns oil.
Mm-hmm.
Hayden's does it.
But his might. If his is like just like popping out white smoke, he probably has a blown head gasket.
That or a ring. Rings down.
Yeah, I don't know why they burn so much. I burn about a quart, a little less than a quart between oil changes, even though it looks like I'm smoking like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
It isn't. It is. I was like, I was scared when Michael said it was like burning oil, so I kept like a nice, like a really like close track on it, and I was like, oh, it doesn't really burn that much.
Yeah, it really isn't that bad.
That definitely does, but
Your car is actually really not that bad. Like even behind it, like when I've like ridden behind it in my car, um,
it's mostly just running rich smoke.
yeah, it's only just black smoke. But your car, like when you're not in VTEC, when you're just putting it around, it's not that bad. But then as soon as I hear you hit VTEC, that's when I start seeing white.
Mm-hmm.
And this stream is like freaking out over here. The encoding is overloaded. Like, yeah, I get it. It's killing the stream though. It's really annoying. But yeah, it's like it's more I just see it in VTEC than anything, you know. Can you still hear me, Hayden?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I wasn't make sure I was
Lagging
like,
a little bit.
yeah, I don't know what's going on. I mean, as soon as I like opened up Discord, it stopped like having issues in the encoding side. Now it's back to having issues in the encoding side again. I don't know what's up with this thing. That's why I need a stronger computer. That's exactly why I need a desktop.
You need.
What'd you say? Cut out. Goodness, what is happening? Because the encoding side's good now. So at least we have that. Are you still good, Hayden? I can still barely hear you. Like you keep cutting out so bad. Is the connection bad or something? It says it's got perfect. It says it's got good connection on Discord. What's really annoying is anytime I open up Discord, it freaks the stream out. Can't win. I really can't win with this live stream on this thing. I think next stream I'll probably will do it from the MacBook just to see how much better it is, because even though I don't have that graphics processor on there, it probably will run better than this does. Like when it comes to like live streams. So like now it's fine. As long as I don't touch anything, it'll be fine. But I hate doing that. But so anyway, what were we talking about, Hayden? I forget.
How shitty GTRs are.
Oh man, please don't get back on that. I don't want the fanboys going after me, bro.
There ain't no fanboys around here.
You know, I'd be surprised. You never know. Come from out of the woodwork. So. Oh, you want to Oh yes, right. We're talking about your car and the smoking. Yeah, when I'm driving behind yours, I never see smoke until you hit VTEC. I think we were talking about something after that. I forget. But yeah. So I think we're gonna try to do like a proper car podcast eventually. So just keep your eyes out for that, because me and Hayden are gonna try to work something out to make this happen. Because there aren't any car.
Good. We're gonna do it on like once a month or twice a month, or
I think it's twice a month. Once every 2 weeks.
once every 2 weeks. Yeah, that would work.
And I don't know if you want to do it on a Friday or a Saturday night. Because I want to do it live for a little while. If things get too rowdy, like it starts having the issues that PKA had, we'll move it to filming offline.
We won't have that problem for a while.
Yeah. True. But, yeah, so me and Hayden are going to talk over everything, like, probably tonight. And we'll try to formulate how we want to do it. And topics, stuff like that. Because I want to plan it out properly. I want to have, like, a really good, like, season-ish setup where we'll have like specific topics to talk about, and then we'll take a break for a little while and then come back once we can start working more topics, or we'll just keep it going just like a normal podcast, just keep going until we just run out of stuff to talk about. But I don't know if you were hearing me when I was talking about Hayden, but I was thinking the first episode should be on hate in the car community. I feel that'd be a good just podcast dedicated topic. is no one going to talk with the NSX? NSX is good. The more I've been around the new NSX, the more I've become to like it. I've come to like it a bit more. I still think the original's better. It's one of those rare cases where the original car is better. Because right now I'm torn between the Mark IV and the Mark V. I think they're pretty much on the same tier now. I think the Mark IV still edges it out because it's got the heritage and the legacy that's left behind. But the Mark V is a pretty darn good car. But I think with the NSX, the new one, while it's okay, it's a pretty good car. I mean, it's got decent numbers. It's overpriced. That's what I like with the Mark V. They hit the Mark V on they hit the nail on the head with the pricing and the design of the Mark V. They weren't trying to make it compete with the GTR. They were trying to give it its price it like the old one. They're trying to bring the old one to the modern era without making it go overkill. Because that's one of the first things people freaked out about. Like, why is it not making 560 horsepower with the GTR? I get why Toyota did it. They wanted to be like the old one in that same regard, similar power, similar price bracket. So, but with the NSX, Honda decided to go overkill with it, and they overpriced it, so no one wants it. Because I mean, let's be real, for 150 grand, that's what the new NSX starts at, Aiden? Something like that.
Yeah, pretty expensive.
It's in the mid to high 100s.
Yeah.
McLarens are available. Older Ferraris are available. You can almost get a Lamborghini Huracan for that.
I'd rather have a NSX than all of those.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like McLarens because I like to actually get to my destination.
True.
Lamborghinis have the same issue that GTRs have, that Fortnite players love them. Ferraris, the community is about as toxic as it can get, and they also look kind of stupid. Personal opinion, don't hate me. And the NSX, I like it. I think it's pretty cool. I'm a bit of a Honda fanboy, so biases are definitely there.
Yeah.
But I'm also not a supercar guy either.
Yeah.
There's no supercar that really rocks my socks that much. I think the R8's kind of stupid. No Lamborghini gets it done. Ferraris, not a fan. McLaren's, nothing. Bugattis, all of them are just trash, in my opinion. I'd rather, if I was spending $100,000 on a car, I'd get a Mark IV or a NSX, an old one or a new one.
What about ZR1? Doesn't that?
Or a ZR1. Or just anything other than.
Well, since you brought up Bugattis,
those status symbol cars, those are just boring. BMWs also don't really get it done for me.
Yeah, like the 335, the 1 Series M, the E46 M3, the E60 M5 are like the only ones I like. I don't really like any of those.
M2 Competition's awesome too.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. But when it comes to the Bugattis, since you brought that up, Bugattis are such one-trick ponies. They can only need to do one thing, and that's be expensive and go really fast in a straight line. That's all they can do. I've played it, what killed it with the Veyron for me, because I used to like the Veyron. I used to thought it was a really cool car. But I picked up Gran Turismo 6 a few years ago. Obviously, the game's a couple years old. I got it around the year it was launched. And one of the license tests is to drive a Veyron around a track. Veyrons are terrible track cars. They're heavy. They're floaty. They're very boat-like, to say the least. It's like trying to turn a boat. Sure, you go.
They're heavy too, aren't they?
They're very heavy cars.
What do they weigh?
I'm about to look it up because the car in particular was a 16.4. So Veyron 16.4 weight. I know it was a very heavy car. Wow. Okay, it's a little bit lighter than I thought. 4,044.
That's a Challenger weight.
A doggone Charger weighs more. What?
100 pounds more, but still. Ain't nobody like those old Mercedes.
I feel like that's wrong. $2013, because that was what they was in the game. 16.4.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Okay, 4,400 pounds. That's what the Grand Sport Vitesse weighed. So yeah, it's actually lighter than I thought. I thought it was actually a lot heavier. I thought it was like a 6,000 pound car. It's only 44. It's not bad. I still wouldn't buy one. They're still one-trick ponies, and they're really bad at driving on the track. I still feel like if you're spending over like $100 grand on a car, it's kind of crazy. Koenigsegg. I freaking love Koenigsegg. Those guys are crazy, and they know how to make some good cars. Like they have made some monsters in like the last like 20 years. Koenigsegg's probably like when it comes to exotics, Koenigsegg's my favorite by far, and they sound cool. They really do. I
Oh
don't
boy.
know who that is, Cody. I do not know who that is.
All right, I'm pink.
I don't know. So anything about Koenigsegg?
Not a fan.
Really?
So it's so overstyled. It hella cringy when you see it. It's so boy racer, in my opinion.
It is pretty boring, sir. I wish.
It's just like something you would see like on a poster at a book fair.
Yeah, I remember that.
Not a fan. Do you have those at your school where they had they'd always have like the Lamborghini posters
Yeah, I have a couple of those
and
posters.
shit? Yeah, they always had those at the book fair. It just looks like something like that. I'm just not a supercar guy. I guess I'm a supercar hater, but I like the. Is there any supercar I like besides the
Oh, if
NSX?
you
Do you want to
consider,
call it super?
I know you like the 911. If you consider that a supercar,
Yeah, I don't. It's like that, like one tier below a supercar, in my opinion.
it's like it's in a
I kind
gray
of got
area.
like the GT3 and GT2 as a supercar, but I like the 911 like turbos.
Hmm.
I don't know if you'd really count those as a supercar
Yeah, they're kind of
that
in that.
much. I guess they kind of are,
Yeah,
but I see them everywhere. Like I saw two earlier tonight.
yeah. They I know they are. They're kind of like in a gray area when it comes to supercars. I don't. They're kind of like um. They're just kind of like in the middle. They're not supercars, but they're like I won't call them sports cars. So they're faster than most sports cars, and they handle really well. But it's like, what are they? Because any other Porsche, it's not a 911. It's not a supercar. That's a sports car. The Cayman, the Boxster, the Panamera, even those aren't supercars. Those are sports cars. When you get to the 911, it's in that gray area. You don't know what it is. Some people consider sports cars, some don't. And then you get to the GT3 and the GT2. Those are supercars. Those are like
Those
definite
are
supercars,
track focused supercars. They're pretty awesome.
and they're freaking fast.
They're fast. Yeah, they sound pretty dope too. I love the way the PDK sounds when it shifts. It sounds super cool.
Is that the only automatic you like? Like, if you had to pick like automatic transmissions, because I know you're a very manual Pierce guy. So
I mean, if they offered it in the manual, I'd obviously buy that. But the PDK is pretty cool. It shifts ungodly fast.
it's very similar to the DSG, right? Like what Isaac had in his golf.
Is it?
I think
have no
so.
idea.
I think the PDK should, like the DSG from the Volkswagens is kind of like a detuned PDK. That's my understanding. That's another fast transmission.
Yeah, Isaac's that dual clutch he had in his golf would shift super fast, especially for being stock. It would shouldn't get for just like 240 horsepower, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would get moved.
How many is too many decals on a car or truck? Because I have my parts brand decals on my rear window and two large side decals on both sides of my truck bed. I don't know. I don't really like. I feel like when you get to the point where there's a decal on every panel of your car, I feel that's when it starts to get a little bit overkill. That's a little bit overkill in my opinion. I know someone's done that, and I'm not trying to take shots, but that's really where I draw the line. Is like when you have a decal on every panel of your car, that's when it gets wild.
Yeah, I don't think he has it overdone. How many he has? Like I've seen just plenty of people with just like decals on the sides of their bed, and then have like their parts list on rear window or just a couple other stickers.
Yeah.
When you see the Civic guys when their sticker bomb with like back windows and side windows.
Mm-hmm.
When they have like the +5 horsepower, when they have like cringy looking stickers, that's
Yeah.
when I kind of draw the line. But if it's tastefully done,
Mm-hmm.
I really don't have a problem with it, especially if somebody else likes it. I mean, more power to you. I'm not a sticker person
Yeah.
anymore. I used to like them. I had a couple on my Jenny, but I wanted like a windshield banner and all that. But as I gotten older, it's not really my style anymore. I like a uninterrupted look, but yeah, I think what he has is fine.
Yeah. I'm working on a strip design. Look at my truck, on my project truck. That'd be kind of cool. I actually don't mind like the little hood strips that are on the sides, like if there's like a bulge in the hood, kind of like a cowl, but not really. Like my truck has it. There's like you can do there's like a good spot you can run some stripes down the hood. Not like down the center of like the actual bump, but I'm talking about like on like the crease. Um, I'm thinking about actually getting a cowl for mine, like just a small one.
They have the Hoonigan sticker on the stock Auto Civic.
Yeah, those
Jesus
guys.
Christ, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. My God.
Yeah, we see that out here
See
a
a
lot.
base Fiesta with a Hoonigan sticker. You know you're messing with a badass.
Yeah, I've noticed that the S2000, you haven't done anything to it like stickers, except for those S2000 badges you made.
Yeah,
That's it.
which those come stock. I don't know what idiot took those off, but yeah. As I've gotten older, I prefer the a stockish look to a car.
Hmm.
I like how it comes from that. Like I'm down with like wheels and like a little bit of low because stock cars come way too freaking high. But I don't want to like go crazy with like fender stripes and like decals on the taillights and
All that.
like hood wraps, trunk wraps, like wrap everything. I kind of like the style. I like the hood. I like a hood wrap on certain cars,
Yeah.
but once it's like so much, it takes away from what the car originally was. It's not my style anymore.
So,
Like when you see the V6 Mustangs with the skinny fender stripes, and they also have the two stripes going across the car. They got like some side decals with the little fake scoops on the side. Yeah, that's just like it kills me to see
It's
that. It's like,
overkill.
oh, it's like that looks like something I would have done when I was 17.
I used to be all about the sticker bomb stuff. I used to want a car that could sticker bomb when I was younger. But like you were just saying, as I've gotten older too, I've like fallen out of wanting the sticker bomb stuff, and I want to do more tasteful. Like, yeah, I really want to do a wild pattern on the truck when I wrap it. Like that inner part of me is like that'd be wild, it'd be noticeable, people would recognize it. At the same time, it's like I don't want to go overkill, and I don't want to make it look stupid. Because I wanted to recreate Street Speed's wrap that he had on the Corvette. That one, not the first one or the last one, but that one that had all the colors in it. I forget, not the tribal, but like the Dazzle camo wrap. I don't remember. You probably remember it. You probably know what I'm talking about. I thought about it, but I was like, that would look kind of dumb on the truck. And so I was like, no, I'll probably just go with like a solid color. But I'm really thinking about doing like a pearl color shift. I think that'd be kind of cool. If I don't do just a solid black, like I want to. So I'll either do solid black or I'll do like a color shift. But let's talk about later. But I guess you're about ready, Hayden. The stream's about to be 2 hours long. Or you
Yeah,
want?
I guess I just hopped in, so it doesn't even feel like we've been doing this for that.
Yeah, I mean we can keep going. You stuff to talk about?
What do you want to give it? Like 10 more minutes?
Yeah, we'll give 10 more minutes.
10 more minutes. All right. What should we talk about? Come up with the topic, Jordan.
Oh,
You're on
crap.
the spot.
Why you gotta do that to me?
Do it.
GTRs. I'm just kidding. Let's not get back into that.
All right, here we go.
No, I was just kidding. No, we're not doing that again.
Let's talk about the all-wheel drive turbo Ultimas. All right. They're slow. They're trash. They break down. The interior sucks. They're up. I'm sorry. They're overdone. Okay, I'm done.
I said let's not get into this. Hayden's like, here are reasons why the GTR is garbage.
Sounds like a trumpet getting run over by a bulldozer.
A trumpet getting ran over by a bulldozer. I've never heard that comparison before. Ow! I put my eye. Ow! I put myself in the eye.
Oh my god.
It hurt really bad.
Yeah, I hate GTRs.
That's so funny. We'll watch like 1320 and you'll see a GTR be like, oh no, please let that other car win. You'll see some other car pulling away.
Oh yeah.
This man is rooted for Dodges against like GTRs. He doesn't like Dodge either. It's so funny.
I'm not a Dodge guy, but I'd much rather let any like Hellcat or any GTR. I'd be totally down with. That's good stuff. At least it's a somewhat decent car.
That's another thing.
Interior's better.
And we talk about like one trick ponies. Dodges are too. Dodge has not had a proper road course car in a long time.
The ACR has been how long has it been out of production? 2 years.
A couple of years. I don't know if it's been 2. I think it's maybe more.
When did they get just kidding? 2016, 17, something like that.
2015, 2016, something like that.
It wasn't 2015. I think
it
it had
was
to be
16.
16 or 17.
I think it was 16.
Yeah, when I first got into cars, because that's about the time like the Hellcat got released, and I was all Mopar. That's what got me into cars originally.
Yeah.
I was like such a big fan of the ACR.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, that's such a sweet car. And then I watched the that Motor Trend video where they put it up against the Z06, and then I learned about how awesome Corvettes were and how much better they sounded. They didn't sound like fucking track.
I think the Viper sounds that.
And I was like, oh, the Viper doesn't sound that bad, honestly, but I like a V8 sound better than a V10.
Yeah, it's fair.
Personally, like the LT one, oh freaking god, I don't think anything sounds better than that. That is like the pinnacle of exhaust sound.
It is the king of exhaust.
Mm-hmm.
It
really is. It sounds amazing.
I always search GTR loses. That's an interesting search.
Hey, I have this. That shows up my search history too. I like watching GTR crash compilations too.
Oh man, gosh! I saw a video. I think 1320 posted it. It was a Mark V against an R35. The Mark V won. I was like, huh? Hold up. I don't remember what it was. I think it was a relatively stock R35 though. It wasn't like a modded up one. Because I know if you start putting money in R35, it actually went. But
that's what butthurts me about it. I wish they weren't like fast.
Mm-hmm.
So they just like all around suck. But like it sucks. Can you like drop a tune and like a couple little bolt-ons, and they are so fucking fast.
Yeah.
It's so lame.
Thanks for clearing that up about the decals. I did not want to overdo it. It's really hard to overdo it with decals, but it's possible, especially like if you just put too many. Like, but what you sound like you've got going on is pretty good. Like I even feel like I'm like I don't feel like I don't have a lot of decals. Like I've got I think 4 in total. Because I've got Instagram, YouTube on the back window, and I've got the Flowmaster and something else.
Beltec, right?
Beltec, yeah, Beltec.
The Beltec, oh, okay.
Because those guys did my shocks. It was funny. I had those on. I had that sticker on there before I did the first block kit, which was a Beltec kit. I didn't even have the shocks on. So I was repping Beltec for several months before I actually had any of their parts on my truck.
You were repping Beltec for like a year before you put the shocks.
Yeah.
I think you had that sticker on when we first met.
I think I did. But yeah, I love Beltec stuff. The kit sucked because I couldn't get it to fit. But the shocks fit fine. Those weren't even a problem. Those bolted right in. It was just the block kit didn't work right. I'm still trying to find a 4-inch block kit because I want to drop it 1 more inch before I take it to get the alignment done. I think that would be the best stance I'd have. It's 1 more inch. 4 out back, 3.5 up front. I think it's perfect. I need to get that camera kit put in though before I do that. That's why I'm running on like freaking like tiny contact patch.
Yeah.
I'm already on a pretty thin ice when it comes to contact patch right now.
Jordan feeling the full stance boy.
I can't stand
vibe.
it. I hate it.
Your camber wear.
It's so bad. I thought
Might as well get your tires rotated, like get them switched around so you'll wear the other inside part.
Yeah, that's what's funny.
Do what all the Ricer Civic guys do.
Just keep rotating them until they all die.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'll never
get them the inverter tires so you'll wear out the other inside pad.
Yeah. I'll never have a camber car. I hate to say that because I know some of you guys would probably want me to do that. I'll never have a stance car. Ever. It's like in that tier cars I'll never build. I'll never build an off-road truck and I'll never build a stance car. I'm all about like proper clean cars that have 0 camber. Maybe a little bit of positive in some cases. Some cars need positive camber. But, you know, I'm never going to be the type that you'd walk around and like, oh, man, that's Jordan's Subaru. Look, it's got 12 degrees of camber. No, that's not me. I don't want my mind went straight to Subaru. I guess because that's
Man,
what
you would
my
have hated me. I was planning on like stancing the fuck out of my Genesis. I was
ew.
going to go full. You ever seen that one dude? What camera on Instagram? I've showed you his stuff. He had
You
that
did.
blue BK1.
Yeah.
I was going. I was like, that was what I was aiming for.
Yeah.
The full like I don't know what he's running like 15 degrees of negative camber. I was gonna go like balls to the wall.
Ew. I hate camber so much. Speaking of Subaru trying to get stance, Dalton posted on Instagram.
Oh, did he? Did he finally put me in a story like he was supposed to? Goddamn cunt liquor.
Gosh, letting him have it.
Fuck you, Dalton, if you're listening. You and your whack ass super gap. That I'm just kidding.
Gosh,
Love you,
darn.
Dalton. Put me on your story. Get me some followers.
And next time I run the, please don't nearly kill me.
Yeah, and please don't wreck when I'm in the car with you.
Last time I rode that man, he about killed me. Ever since then, I've been scared to get back in the car with him. Oh.
What is it?
Michael posted something on his Instagram. It was some sort of like plug hookup that is freaking covered in like black. It's like soot. I think it came out of the turbo. I think the 2 sensor for the turbo.
Ooh.
I was like,
It's a Limo 2 sensor that I pulled out of the Honda.
yeah, pretty much.
Oh, nice.
There's nothing wrong with an off-road truck as long as it's not lifted high as crap. Yeah, out here, there's no such thing.
Yeah,
as
good luck
too
trying to find
high.
that around here.
There's no such thing as too high.
9-inch lift minimum.
Out here, if you don't have a 9-inch lift, at least as like a base,
You're a pussy.
You're too low. You're too low to them. Dude, I remember when I was in high school how much I got flamed for being like the only kid there that like lowered trucks. I was literally the only one out of all the truck guys at school. Like I met a lot of the truck guys at my school because that's predominantly what everyone drove was trucks. Because it's where I live. I live in the sticks.
I mean, it's the South. It's Georgia.
And I mean, it's redneck Georgia. So I mean,
it's the sticks.
Yeah. So everyone, most of the, like about 80 to 90% of the cars at my school were trucks, like Rangers, Silverados, a couple Duramaxes.
No joke. Probably 80% of the cars you see on the road are trucks.
Yeah, especially out here.
Because like trucks and Jeeps make up, I swear, about 80% of the cars you see on the road. The rest are like sedans, like Corollas.
Decent cars today to drive.
And at least to 60% of them like have the like stancy boy truck wheels with like crazy offset.
Mm-hmm.
That just ruin wheel bearing.
Yeah.
That's just all you see rocking around. It sucks too because they're actually fast. Because I got gapped by, I don't know what the hell it was, 6.0 Power Stroke or something in my Genesis. I was like, oh, this fag ass truck, thinking he's all fat, and then I got gapped, and I was like, oh well.
What?
I guess I'm gonna go sell this to get a Corvette.
There you go. Some trucks look better slightly lower than stock height. Yeah, I feel like a lot of trucks do. I feel like especially with single cab.
Silverados.
Dude,
Silverados look great. Lowered.
What the heck is up with Chevys? When it comes to the trucks that are lowered, Chevy kills it. Like the Fords, I have a hard time looking at them lowered. I'm like, it's okay. Well, you pull out a Silverado, they could be any generation Silverado. I'm like, wow, that looks pretty good. And I'm like, what? The Rams don't pull it off. Like
the newer F-150s, single cabs lowered don't look terrible either.
Yeah, those pull it off. I used to want a 20.
Right
okay. I used to want a 2014 F-150 5.0 that was lowered. And every time I look at it, I'm like, I don't know, it doesn't look that great. The Lightning looks good because, I mean, that's kind of what it was built for, and it makes sense. But pretty much every F-150 after the Lightning generation kind of just looks a lot lowered. Like, the Silverado looks the best. The Ram doesn't pull it off at all. Like, every time I see a Ram lowered, I'm like, eh. But the Silverado, I think, kills it the best when it comes to, like, lowered trucks. I think when it comes to lowered trucks, the Silverado looks the best. Rangers are probably a close second. I think the Ranger looks good lowered. Like, I beg Hayden to lower his truck all the time. He won't do it. But I try really hard because those trucks look fantastic dropped. Rangers are like the king for like the mini trucks when it comes to being lowered. Besides hard bodies, obviously, those seem to be dominated. But I feel like when it comes to lower trucks, it's like Silverados, Lightnings, and then Rangers. And then S10s right underneath that because S10s look pretty good lower too. Colorado's in that same bracket. It's mainly the mini trucks. Like the full size ones, besides the Silverado, doesn't look right. And it has to be single cab because crew cabs look weird lowered. Like as an owner of a lowered crew cab, it doesn't feel right. Like I feel like it needs a shorter wheelbase to look better. But I guess it's just my car guy stuff. I prefer shorter wheelbases than I do longer wheelbase vehicles. Which is funny because I want to have a big tow rig truck one day. So once Hayden gets back, we'll probably shut things down, which is probably momentarily.
I'm big.
Do not forget Sierras. Yeah, Sierras look good too. Any GM truck looks good lower. Single cab. Single cab. All right, Hayden, you ready to wrap this thing up?
Yep, I guess so.
All right, everyone. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I'm sorry we have been having some issues with like lagging issues. The encoding on this thing is driving me mad. But if you guys are interested in getting a gaming laptop, message me on Instagram at OneLove 4.0. I have mine for trade. I'll give all the specs to you if you want to mention it to me. I just want a desktop. So I don't want another laptop. So if you have a gaming desktop you're looking to trade off, it's not worth much anymore. As long as it's somewhat modern, you know, I don't want like a 10-year-old system. But if you have something that you're looking to get rid of, or if you just want to buy mine, message me. Let me know. 750 is the magic number. If you wanted to buy mine, I'm not selling it for less than 750. Anyway, guys, thank all of you again for tuning in. Y'all have a good one, and I'll see you guys on Monday with a new video. See you guys.